believe you me, I grew up on a farm.
Right.
Morris. The fact that I have a nice haircut doesn't mean I don't know farming life.
Yeah, I can see the faders.
Yeah.
For this morning, this man walks into studio and already has us in stitches. Yeah, so much to say, so much to say. Now, our royal hustler for this morning is no other than the leader and chief change campaigner of the Landless People's Movement, Honourable Bernadus Swartbooi, who is also a member of Parliament and the National Assembly. Now, Honourable Swartbooi has a Bachelor of Law obtained from the University of Namibia, JUNAM, postgraduate diploma in poverty, land and agrarian studies from the Institute for Poverty, Land and Agrarian Studies from the University of Western Cape, as well as a basic education teacher's diploma, which he obtained from the Vinto College of Education. He was also the governor of the Karoo region 2010 to 2014, and then Deputy Minister of Land Reform between 2015 and 2016 before he was removed for speaking out against the discrepancies in land resettlement. A mouthful, firstly. Quite impressive resume there, sir. Thank you so much, Honourable Swartbooi, for taking time out of your schedule and being our royal hustler for this morning.
Good morning, Morris. Thank you, and good morning to the listeners. It's great to be here, guys. Morris is young, he's fresh, and the team is alive.
Stop it.
I'm happy to be here.
We know you from the media mostly. What we see, what we read, WhatsApp groups, definitely WhatsApp groups.
Voice recordings,
voice notes. But let's get to know the man behind the man. Tell us a bit about your childhood, how that shaped the man that you are today.
Well, we come from a strict Roman Catholic family.
Right.
And I mean, right now my uncles are still priests, and at some stage, Morris, I wanted to become a priest, man.
Look at you.
Hey, man. And then normally you go for a weekend to sort of get a taste of it, and the whole weekend was just a bunch of guys, and then the Sunday service came and we said, oops, there are nice girls around here. So I said, hold on, maybe I need to do something else. But I come from that Roman Catholic background, which is very strict, very, very, very orderly.
Right.
And so growing up on the farm, we also then were stitched into that process of this is the time the goats have to get out. This is the time you have to go milk them. Believe you me, I grew up on a farm.
Right.
The fact that I have a nice haircut doesn't mean I don't know farming life.
Yeah, I can see the faders.
Yeah. And then of course there was an aunt of mine that was also very strict. She would get us at the school on the day of the holiday and take us to the farm. And if we did nonsense, we were beaten properly.
Right.
So there was my aunt, there was my mother, there was my father, and then there was the church. So we got to be stitched in a very tight way in terms of what needs to be done, what shouldn't be done.
Right.
And we internalized it very, very carefully over a long period of time. So I'm a child from the Big 12, man. Keetmanshoop with its 12 letters. So from the dusty streets there, you know, did not so many naughty stuff, but the childhood sort of taught us that you got to stand up for yourself. If a guy beats you, beat him up twice tomorrow.
I mean, doesn't the good word say turn the other cheek?
No. It said around churches, not in the location there, you know.
Right.
So you had to learn to be tough, you know, and after school, you'd have this guy that would want to beat you up. So there was always drama after school, especially at primary school. And so you had to hustle to survive, to be respected. And that became sort of not only intuitive, but instinctive. That you don't fear anybody. You don't fear, because what you fear, you attract. That's what I tell people. They live in the fear of failure. Don't do that.
Right.
Live your life, do your thing, and fall and stand up 3-4 times, go on, equip yourself and so on. So that background shaped us. And then I went to what would then be called colored school and saw all these girls with nice hair and new stuff there. But we had some of the most wonderful teachers at our secondary school. At that stage, many of them were coming from Upington, Springbok, Cape Town.
Right.
And I mean, people like Ifro Daniels and Mr. Freeman and so on. These were top teachers that would teach us about how does a man dress, how does a man walk, how does a man smile,
Yeah.
how do you project yourself as a man.
Right.
This is what these guys were telling us. How do you
Right.
behave in front of a woman?
Yeah.
These days, Morris, not you but others, don't know what to say to women. You know, we knew what sort of chocolate to buy to get attention and so on.
You do sound. I get a very strong sense that, especially in your teenagers, you must have been a handful.
I was a very decent child. Yeah. I was a tough guy. I mean, not an unfriendly guy.
Yeah.
You know, remember what you were saying, the comment that you're making when you see somebody, it's the snapshot that you see on newspaper
And you
headline.
think you know the person.
No, you think
Yeah.
you know the person. You don't know the person. This
Right.
guy can be very funny, very strict, but also very
Clearly.
loving and kind.
Right.
You know, when you have to focus on something, you have to focus on something. But my father was a railroad worker. And he was very strict. Don't eat even if you have food. Train yourself that sometimes you may not have food.
Right.
Train yourself. Walk long distances, go get the cattle and so on. So every weekend was to the farm, every
Right.
weekend. And so he was sort of the military guy. And my mother was, if a boy beats you up, you don't come report. Let's go look for that child. Go beat him back. You must fall with your truth or stand with it, regardless of how strong this guy is. Beat him back. That was my mother. She's late now, Katrina, like the hurricane.
Like the hurricane. Before we go to the break, I just wanted to know, you did touch a bit on that being a preacher was something that you considered at some point. I mean, when you're in high school, was there some, you're in politics now, but was that always something that you thought you'd get into, or did you have any other dream or aspiration?
I mean, from grade 7, it sort of emerged quite strongly. Remember, I told you about the Catholic Church. We were quite strong in the church youth.
Right.
And guys like Ferdinand Jacobs and Michael Wimmert and so many other guys were front runners in terms of that. But the church really began to hone our love and nurturing for leadership.
Right.
And from grade 9 on, it sort of consolidated. And then there was the Namibia National Students Organization. Those were the times that the SADC region was also organized around the Southern African Students Union. So it was a whole momentum in the early 90s about student movements and student organizations, and at regional level there were colleagues that would meet from Zimbabwe, Charlton Wender. I think he's now old like I am,
No, still a young man.
So at grade 9 it sort of consolidated, and Nanso is not per se Swartbooi party. Nanso really is what taught us politics. And one of the big things, that's where I met your uncle, Colin Namalambo, and Bohamba Shifeta, and Gela Makushe, Azaya Kavenji, Colin Kamehodhu, Ivan Lombard, Uhuru Dember.
Yeah.
We didn't know who was Ovambo, who was Herero.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. You are Bernadus, you are Morris, you are comrade. And when we got into politics, of political parties, we say, this is a Kwanyama. Okay, why? No, because the Kwanyamas are the largest Ovambo group. And we're like, what is this?
Right.
So we are a product of the national students movement, really, that honed us, And your uncle today is a great guy. He's in the diplomatic service. I met him in December, and he was on his way to Florida to go and meet friends, and brilliant as ever, articulate as ever, charismatic as ever, and I see you have that as well.
I mean, don't stop, continue. Honourable, don't stop on my account.
Come on.
We do have Honourable Bernadus Swartbooi as our royal hustler this morning. We continue this conversation on the other side of this, looking at his inspiration, what gets him out of bed, and of course, perhaps 2 cents from the man in terms of advice on the other side. 99 FM, your inspiration station. Levert saying Casanova. 8 minutes to 8 o'clock. Top of the morning to you. We continue our conversation with Honourable Bernadus Swartbooi. And he did say, I'm charming. Ladies? Sibyl, please. He did. I mean,
I did. It's on record.
We have a recording. Honourable, look, we are the inspiration station, your favorite radio station. What we talk about is inspiration all day, every day, because we see the value of always trying to inspire others, trying to get the best out of other people. But focusing on you really at this particular point, what motivates you on a daily basis when your feet touch the ground when you get out of bed? Why? What is your big why?
This is for some young people, wow, but trust me, I don't get motivated by men.
Right.
Yeah, Mandela, them, they did great, fine, that's okay, I respect that. The person that motivates me is Christ. How does a guy knowing that he will be crucified keep on doing what he's got to do, knowing how he's going to die painfully, keeps on doing it, doesn't complain about it, keeps on pushing, and then hires 12 cabinet members, and they go spread his vision of salvation and of redemption and so on. So that man motivates me, and I always pray that his spirit dominates me, because he has left us the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. So that's where I come from. I am a Christian, and Jesus never preached Christianity. People later called it Christianity. So that is what motivates me. How does a man who knows his end, how it will be, because he was God himself, how does he not complain and keep on going, and went by feet and with donkey and all sorts of things, and got a team so loyal generally that 2020 years, 22 years, we are still talking about this man who, with a cabinet of 12, literally achieved a whole spread of the word. So that is what motivates me. How would he have done something? And I mean, we are human beings. We are very fallible. But that vision, that from a crib that you are born, not at Cathedral Hospital or any luxury place, in a crib, this man sets on a vision and achieves it. For me, that's big. So that is what motivates me. And I mean, within the context of what we do now, when you have discovered your purpose, Morris, and I was speaking to students at Cosmos, when you have discovered your purpose in life, you have meaning. So you know what you are getting up for. My purpose is, first, as a human being, as a Christian, to spread the word, the love of God.
Right.
Whether I achieve that, I don't know. When you look at my face, sometimes it doesn't look like a loving face.
I'm not.
I know you're not judging me, man. But secondly, it is to achieve the economic freedom for your generation and for the other generations to come. That's a tall call, because it ain't easy, because much of what you are doing is actually not within your control. So you have to, every morning, look and assess, am I still on my purpose? And once you discover your purpose, you know the values that you have to achieve that purpose. So once you get the values, once you have discovered the purpose, you will see the set of values you need. Once you have the set of values, it will determine at the level, which altitude is it that you're going to fly? Are you going to be a lazy guy? Are you going to be fast? Are you going to be clever? Are you going to be sharp? Are you going to be organized? Or are you going to stand around at clubs and getting this girl and the other girl and so on? What are you going to do?
Right.
The values. And from the values, the altitude, and then your attitude is what then sets you free, because in your attitude, you find your passion. So therefore, your passion and your purpose are one. So you find that those that have discovered their purpose have discovered their passion. These are the people that are change makers in this world. So I have discovered it.
Right.
I try my best to live according to it, to that purpose, and that's why you don't fear. You don't fear. Nothing is a risk that you shouldn't take. Everything falls within your purpose. You lose a job, you say, hey man, I have a purpose. Move on. You find a great one there. Say, ooh, am I ready for this? Get yourself ready.
Right.
Get yourself to the kinds of people that would motivate you. So it never stops. Sometimes people think that those that are in politics or in business are successful and therefore they think that they have achieved everything. No. Every day you start anew.
There we go.
every day, you know. So young people should motivate themselves. That's your first responsibility toward yourself, Morris. You have to motivate yourself first. Don't wait for any great figure, man.
We are sadly out of time. If we have young people, old people, Namibians, both locally and internationally, listening to this conversation right now,
Yeah.
what's that one thing you will tell them?
Love. 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 Morris, you're the man.
Hey, stop it, man. Stop it, I like it. Stop. Ik kreeg nog een groot kop.
Ja, nee.
But Honourable, thank you so much for your time, man. We really, really, really appreciate it. Unfortunately, we are out of it. We'll make it a point to get you back.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I mean, this was a good way to start my day and spread the word of love.
Love. Those are the words of Honourable Bernadus Swartbooi talking to us this morning, being our royal hustler. If you have not been inspired, motivated, I don't know where you've been, but this is a conversation that is worth listening to again. Thank you very much, Honourable. Have a fantastic day. Have a lekker Tuesday.
Shop, shop.
Royal Hustlers was proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.